Well, good evening, everyone. I'm going to make some Salisbury steaks, so I thought I'll take you along. I found a couple packages of little bits of hamburger in my freezer as I was cleaning up, and I thought, well, I'll make some Salisbury steaks. So I have two little packages of hamburger, and they're lean. One is half pork and half beef. I had gone to the store and it was a good price a while back, so I bought it. So I have my frying pan here, and I'm putting it on. Putting it on number 8. Just gonna let that go. So this is how I make my Salisbury steak. Now, my grandparents never ever had hamburger like this. Just wasn't part of our. Oh, I've got my potatoes going. I'm making mashed potatoes with them. So I'm just going to put some salt in here, probably about half a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more, and a couple of shakes of pepper. That's all I put in. Whoa, I put quite a bit, but that's okay. I love pepper. And then I'm just going to mix it up with my hands. My hands are clean. I'm getting company for supper. My niece is coming, and she used to live with me. She lives close by, and she worked all day, and I told her I'd make supper, and my granddaughter's coming along with her, and they'll be here shortly. And I told them I'd make some Salisbury steaks. They love it. So I just take my hamburger and ground beef, mix it up. I think hamburger came into my life. I was already a teenager when we started using a lot of hamburger for soups and stews, and this was something that my mother made, was Salisbury steak, and this is how she made it. I love it. So you take a piece of hamburger like that and keep it quite thick. Now some people call this hamburger steak, but we always call it Salisbury steak. About like that, as thick as your hand. And make sure that pan is hot. I like to hear a sizzle when I put my hamburger in there. I'll make another while I'm making sure that's hot. A little bit of sizzle. Okay, so I'm going to put my hamburger in here. I try and make sure it's nice and firmly put together. Oh yes, it's ready. So I'll probably get from there 4 nice Salisbury steaks. Hamburger used to be so a food that was always cheaper, cuts of meat, and man, I'm telling you, raising my children, we ate a lot of hamburger. We had to find all kinds of ways. Spaghetti sauce, I put it in, chili, hamburger soup, hamburger hash, all kinds of ways. There. Now you can see they're all different sizes, but that's okay. So I'm going to fry these. Now once I put them in here, I'm turning the heat down to about a 7. And on my dial, number 10 is the hottest and number 5 is medium. So I have it at about a number 7. And it's something you have to watch. You want it to cook nice and brown. And so I'm going to let that, and don't fool around with it. Once you put it in, leave it to sit. So I'm going to fry this, and I'll time it. I'll tell you how long it took me on one side before I flipped. I'll be right back. Okay, it's been about It's been 5 minutes, and I'm going to turn them over. Okay. You see how nice and brown they are, and nice and crispy. Okay. And now I'm going to leave them on there for about 3 minutes to brown, and I'm going to put a lid over it and turn the heat down so that they can cook. I'll be back. Okay, here's the part that I want you to see. You take the burgers out. I put them in the lid because I don't want to wash them as a dish. And I don't know if I told you, but in the beginning I put 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil in there. So, now at the bottom of this I've got, there's some oil, but not a lot, and the browning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put flour in here, about half a cup, and I'm going to mix that flour in there. So let it cook, and let it cook a bit longer so it browns. That's why I like making my gravy like this. Put the flour in there and then I let it brown. Okay, and I have it on exactly 5, so it's a medium heat. Get all of those scrapings up. And on a separate pan, I'm frying onions in butter. When Mom used to make hers, she used to make it in the gravy, but I like mine separate. Okay, so you just let the flour brown and cook a little bit there. Like there. And then, put my oven mitt on. Gotta get the other oven mitt. Then I'm going to put the hot water from the potatoes in there. Put it all in there. Then I'll let it mix. I'm going to get my whisk. Hold on. Then I take my whisk and I whisk it all. By the way, those Salisbury steaks were, after I put it on pause, they were on there for another 6 minutes. They're pretty well cooked. You see how that is? Now I'm going to put more water. Hold on, I've got to get more water. I would say another good cup. Another good cup of water. Well, it depends on the thickness you want your gravy. See how nice and brown that is? It will thicken up as it cooks. I'll leave that there because I might need more. Let me just stir my onions up a bit. Hold on. They look good. So we're going to have Salisbury steak with I have to do a part 2. I'm so sorry.